Hello everyone, we're here back at Platform. The next episode for me to talk to my next guest, Daniel Fiorda. He's my incredible artist from Buenos Aires, Argentina. He actually was one of my first featured artists when me and Dorsa, my daughter, opened up Platform in 2018. So I'm lucky to have him back here for our Barefoot in the Garden event, September 26th. And let's get him here on the screen. Let's see if he's here yet. Not yet. Okay, well, let me tell you guys more about our event that's coming up. So it's a curated, I don't want to even call it networking event because it's really, Platform is home to me, to my brother, to my mom here right now. And we're happy to have a concept gallery, interior design studio, and now a transformation into a photo studio as well for headshots, because what we're doing here at Barefoot in the Garden is to bring the community together, the community that is part of my network, my mom's network, my brother's network, and together we want to accomplish something very interesting and cool and productive to connect with new people and to reconnect and reestablish our relationships from the past and make new relationships. And it's actually a very chill environment in our garden, in our home, and by introducing an artist every month, a fashion designer, a jewelry designer, and creative people all together. We'll have nice food, nice drinks. Everything is geared towards having a good time here in our home Platform in South of 5th, Miami Beach, 410 Meridian Avenue in Miami Beach. Let me see if our guest Daniel is there. I cannot see him here yet. Here he is. Let me bring him on. Give 1 second. Joined request. My phone always likes to play games with me. I'll play along.
Hello.
Hi, how are you,
Very,
Daniel? Oh,
very good, thank you. How
I
are
see you,
you?
my dear.
Okay. Do you hear me well?
I see you very well. Yes, do you see me well?
Wonderful, wonderful. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me on a Monday. I had a chance
Uh-huh.
to see you on Saturday when I came to your gallery in Wynwood, and to see your new productions and to select the pieces that we want here at Platform for our event on September 26th. And I'm happy to have you here on our IG Live, and to tell all my friends here who are watching us from all over the world to see who you are. Actually, let me tell everyone how I met you originally. And
Okay.
through my son Parsa Afsharjaman, another talented, creative person in my life, my own son, and I'm very proud of him. And so Parsa, hello Parsa, we love you. Was working at the Lilia Murdoch Gallery in Wynwood, and that's where you came into the picture because you run the gallery here in Miami, and that's how we two got connected through Parsa. So I'm happy for this connection. And then you were one of our very first artists that we featured your beautiful collection of technology embedded in concrete, which is what you specialize in. And I'll let you talk about the story behind it and everything in your own words. But what I loved about it was how you transform an object, almost a dead object, into a living object for people to look at and to experience. And this is how I really connected with your work on a different level. So to me, it's not just looking at a cell phone, a flip phone from the past. It's really what you create with your vision and with your talent to continue this whole transformation and to preserve our old technology and every object you hand select for your work. So thank you for your vision, your talent, and for being here today. So tell my friends everything about you.
Okay, to everyone on the conversation, and again, thank you very much, Sogol, and your whole team that put together this live on Instagram, and also all the opportunities that came along from a long time ago already, more than 4 or 5 years since we met. Previously, pandemia, we already did the project together. I exhibit so many of my pieces, my sculptural pieces in your place, and it was very successful. So, and here we are here again, you know, after the pandemic, and we're going to have this project together again. The opening is on the 26th, right? The 26th. Yes, yes. So basically, I born in Buenos Aires in Argentina, in South America. More than 30 years ago, I moved to the United States, and I found Miami to be, the place where I decided to set roots. And this city, 30 years ago, was much different, more affordable for sure. And then I found a place in Lincoln Row in South Beach. It's called now Olight Art Center, which now have the office only and a few studios, but it's growing. It's coming to Miami. So I found an art center where I joined the art center and I got a studio, and I continue developing my artwork over there. I began to do visual arts in Argentina a long time ago. I think I was 18, 19 years old when I did my first group exhibition, 3 artists in a professional art gallery in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And from that first exhibition, I got an art critic writing about my work in one of the most important newspapers at that time. So that set me on the track. I never give up, and I always continue evolving and developing. I'm a self-taught artist. I took formal studies in drawings and paintings with a private teacher for about 3-4 years. In Argentina, it's very common to have kids going and study with private teachers, in their homes. And my father saw my talent right away, early, so he sent me to continue with the tutelage of an art teacher. But also in my home, I have a piano that was left by one of my family members. And I began to play piano by ear. So my father also encouraged me to study music. So I have a very alternative way of education.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So we have a piano here. So next time you're going to perform for us.
I might play a little course, a few chords on the 26th. So anyway, yeah, I think that all that influence, of studying visual art and having an environment around my father's studio. My father was not a professional visual artist, but he was very good on creating. I'm sorry about the noise outside.
That's okay.
Fire truck passing by. And anyway, I began to do art, when I was 15, 16 years old, and I never stopped until today. Even though when I was a teenager, I wanted to be, and this is very interesting, I'm always share this with everybody. At the beginning, when people were asking me, what do you want to become when you are an adult? I say, I would like to study archaeology. And then I move on to more into the technology and looking at the stars. I wanted to maybe 5, 6 years later, I say, no, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to go to the moon. My father was very into, the moon exploration, the Apollo missions and all of that. And I request to my father that I wanted to be an astronaut. And my father said, well, to do that, you have to go to the United States. So those three things: archaeology, become an astronaut, and traveling to United States. All that three things combined made me a visual artist.
Amazing. That's amazing.
It
Yeah,
makes sense. It makes sense.
of course.
I was not, well, what else? You asked me a question and I respond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you tell me.
first, yeah, did you know? I didn't know that this is what your passion was also, because my mom is an archaeologist as well, and so
Who?
my
Oh,
she studied archaeology also. So growing up, I also grew up among the most beautiful things and elements in life. My dad was a geologist, mineralogist, and paleontologist, and my mom.
oh,
It's
so nice. It's so nice.
sense, who we are today and looking at our past and where we were raised, and I have also visited your beautiful country. I've been to Buenos Aires. I actually celebrated my 30th birthday in Buenos Aires. It's beautiful. It's very
Very good. Yes.
and it's really I was so surprised because in Buenos Aires I felt so home, because at every corner I thought I'm either in Iran, in Tehran somewhere, or in New York, or in Germany. And I mean, the whole city reminds me of all these different cities that I was living in. And I really had a great connection with Argentina and with Buenos Aires.
Yes.
Looking
Yes.
forward to going back there.
Yes.
But so back to us, and back to our event coming up.
Yes.
So first of all, I thought, great synergy to have you on board, especially for the launch of our event, is because we are also going through another transformation and platform, and we will have a photo studio here for headshots, because that's what my brother's business is, the Night Owls company that he has. And so we are kind of collaborating all together. It's all about collaborating, networking in
Yes.
sense possible. So from now on, all our collaborators at our Barefoot event will have the opportunity to have headshots done. We're helping each other grow our businesses and our relationships. That's what we are doing. And so I thought of photo headshots, and immediately I'm like, oh, let me reach out to Daniel and see if he has pieces available. Of course, lens that we had already featured here a few years ago during our opening. You will have that one or similar pieces. And creation. Tell me about the new collection of your cell phone series, which you explained them to me on Saturday when I visited your gallery, and it's a really nice concept and evolution of your work.
Yes, actually, behind of me, I have an installation of 20 pieces. Each of these squares is 7 inches by 7 inches by 1 inch thick, and there are 20 pieces in total. This new collection is called Reverse Series. It's an evolution from the cellular series. What happened is, again, going back to this feeling of and love and passion for archaeology, of things from the past, and wanted to know more. I truly believe that when we find an object, we can look at the object only as a physical form, but also we can connect it to humanity. Say, who made it? How many hands were involved in making these objects? What was the purpose? And I found also through my career, I found people that always feel the same way. When they look at something, they connect immediately with humanity that is involved with that object. That's what I love and passionate about museums of archaeology or paleontology and all these studies about our past to understand more the present and the evolution of humans. And then my work entitled a little bit of that work. I look at objects. In this case, I realized after the advancements and the speed of technology, it make a whole series of objects that we were handling every day, like the flip phones, the phones that were before the digital, the smartphones technology, and they were completely discarded and abandoned. as an object. So I know there is a lot of information there, so I feel right away, and I wanted to encapsulate them in a material that I began to work about more than 5 years ago, which is concrete. Concrete is a material that allows me to manipulate in a very loose way, kind of like a water, but when it dries up, it becomes solid. So I am able to, through my laboratory, which is my studio, to do a lot of experimentation when I realized that not only the front part of my artwork, but also the back of my artwork was very, very aesthetically, they have some inner beauty that I was able to perceive and to connect. I say to me, okay, Daniel, it's done. No more the front. I have to always show the back. And some way, somehow, that it encompasses the idea of something that I'm very connected with the concept of yin and yang, the positive and the negative, the light and darkness, the enlightened nature and the fundamental darkness, or being alive as a phenomenological manifestation physically, and also being a state of latency, which is being in the cosmos with the stars and the planet, to later on continue in this cycle of life and death, which is life itself, the eternity of life. And my work is about that. I hope I can transmit that when people see my work. I want to engage people in questioning things when they see the objects. They can, as a point of entry, they can see the object and recognize it like, oh, I know what is this. But that will trigger so many other questions. Is this a relic of a present, of a recent present, or this is something from the future? We don't know. I leave everything there on the realm of questioning and interrogation, which I think is the beauty of art itself.
Right. Actually, with art, I love always the mystery about art. The unknown mystery about art. Because when an artist is creating something, obviously they know what they're doing, but we're not in their heads, and we just make the interpretation from what we see and what we perceive. But also with your work, I mean, there's a lot of unknown elements, like why this, why that, but all of that is really, it's great because that kind of creates the story. And when I was at the gallery the other day with you and I looked at the piece, even the whole transformation of how the texture of concrete creates art, how it dries and how it creates certain patterns, and how you actually see certain objects in this little concrete object that you create. I mean, some of them, they look like faces to me. Some of them, they look like aliens.
Yes. Oh yeah, are so abstract, so open for interpretation. I think each individual person that look at one of my pieces, but it happened with so many thousands of artists when they make their work, the connection with the individual person is gonna trigger something in the artwork and in the person. There is a communion of energy going on in that moment, and I think it happened with my pieces. Also, since my work is based on experimentation, for example, now I'm using some specific silicone molds that I purchased, so I'm able to produce more effectively and reach to the aesthetics that I'm looking forward to accomplish. But before using these molds, I was using packaging from commercial things. So, for example, when you buy a small thing, it comes in a package, and that package usually is discarded. I look at each packaging as a mold, and that gives me the opportunity to experiment on that. And then I realized, wow, what about if I continue in this way? But throughout that process of experimentation and many times making mistakes, are the mistakes were actually what trigger an evolution in so many of my series. So this reverse series actually, not that it was a mistake, but I found it by looking on the back of the artwork, and I realized it had the same potential as the front part. So there's no front or no back, and I many times happen. We are making something on the surface, but actually what we are making, and maybe we are not aware in our frontal conscience, but we're making is something from behind. It's coming from behind. It's more the creativity of our unconscious self. You know, yeah.
And so actually, I was lucky enough to interview you during COVID. If you remember, I came to your gallery, and our Night Owls team actually produced this beautiful interview from us, which now we're going to actually show them to all my friends here in the next few days. And we had a great conversation. And back then you didn't have the silicone mold, and you actually showed me the egg containers and the other containers that you use for your art, and which was very interesting. So now we're working with a new concept that you have with the new mold system. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really cool what you're doing. And what I really love about your work is also how in this new world, unfortunately, we keep disconnecting from objects from the past. Everything is becoming, unfortunately, this little device that we're holding in our hands. My phone broke the day that I was visiting you at the gallery, and I had to go have the screen replaced, and for 2 hours I was without the phone. First I thought I'm going to come and visit you at the gallery, but then I realized, oh my God, I don't even have the phone. I don't have my GPS to get to your gallery. So instead, I went to a coffee shop, got a cup of coffee, and I walked around for a good 1.5 hours and just listened to Mother Nature, looked around without looking at this stupid screen. So to me, even what we're doing here is really not what I love to do, as a lot of people know already, because I'm all about the personal connection that we create and being in one, feeling each other, smelling each other. It's really a multi-sensory process that in the world has had for so many years, and now we're all disconnected from just looking into someone's eyes. It's just texting, not knowing anything about the other on the end.
Yes.
So what you're doing with your art is really preserving all of that for the next generation. I don't want to say I feel bad for the next generation, because there are still also amazing things happening with the AI now, what you can actually envision and dream and make them come to life, really. I mean, it's all very good, but at the same time, we live in a world that is losing a lot of the past. And traveling, on my travels last week, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to embrace every single moment that I had with objects, old architecture, with everything. And I tried to be less on my phone and posting things, because I was really, really embracing the moment. And important. And what you're doing is preserving the past and also giving them new life with, you're transforming everything. Like the old technology, old dead objects are now actually becoming alive to me, even though they can't speak. But what I really love about, remember the clock that you preserved, the towers, those were really cool, and you made the clock work on certain items. So it's really beautiful what you're doing, and keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. About those pieces, the alarm clock series, also an artwork where I combine a particular object that is those old, how you call it, where the alarm clock, the digital alarm clock that everybody used to have next to the bed in the smallest bed tables, with the digital numbers that were, ticking, showing the time, and that also with the advancement of technology and the cellular phones, we don't have those more, the kind of devices next to us. But I was able to see also there something about time or timeless moment or about life also, about the eternity of life.
Yes.
We are in some ways, somehow, we are also a clock. We are a clock. We don't know that clock how long it's gonna last, but every second is something is ticking in ourselves. That can be a psychological time, or can be also physical time. Our lifespan maybe lasts 80, 90, 100 years, but in some way these objects, when I encapsulate them with different forms, a little bit playing a little bit like I am an architect. I'm making buildings in a small, medium format, and letting those digital numbers continue clicking on the artwork. I found that as a metaphor of life, So we are all that. We are also a clicking time machine that, and I really enjoy to do it. I did a collection about 20 pieces, and I didn't make any more. So I think that it reached a moment where I say, okay, I have to move on and continue doing other things. Yeah.
Collectors who purchase from me your products here, they're going to be back here for the event. So now they're going to see you, and that's it's always nice.
The new pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. These new pieces that I'm bringing to your event, the 26th of this month. Yeah. What time? It's from 6 p.m. to
6 to 9.
Okay. So I'm bringing new pieces, but I might bring maybe one or two pieces from the old series too. That at least we can have a lecture between the last 5 years, let's say, 3 years of work, the aesthetic, how it was changing, but specifically these new pieces also that I'm bringing on have an element, the object. The elements are all related to the optical, to the photographic machines, cameras in the phone, in the flip phones, lenses, things like that. Yeah.
Right, the old Polaroid camera that you showed me.
Yes. I'm working on it. I had to continue working today. I'm bringing 10 new pieces. Yes.
Well, thank you much for your time, for your efforts, and we're happy to have you here. Obviously, the event is a one-night event, but we are featuring artists for the entire month. So for 1 month, your work will be here, up on the walls.
Great.
Whenever you want to bring any of your collectors and clients, this is your home, so you'll have the key to platform. And of course, we are here 24/7, and to show your work to our contacts here too. But I appreciate collaborating with us, and we're very excited.
Me too. I'm ready to go. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be working all this week to put everything together and bring it to your place to create a nice installation.
Excited about this week. It's going to be a lot of work for all of us, but very excited to have an amazing, fun event with everyone here. And we'll send the link in the bio, so you can share it. We'll share it, and I'm looking forward to seeing all my old friends and relationships.
Yes. Wonderful.
If you have any questions, you ask me questions.
Me? No, but if I have somebody that have questions about the event, I will forward it to you directly.
Absolutely.
And I hope all my friends that are here in Miami can join us. It's going to be a wonderful event. I know, because I went to previous events and I really enjoyed so much. I met people there. Everybody loves to have engaging dialogue, something profound, deep. And this is what we're really looking forward.
Good music, food, we we have an amazing mixologist, and we'll have a combination of Persian-inspired drinks, and I'll make my own Persian rose cake. So we have that on board, and more. So, well, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sogol. So you tell me, I don't know if you have another question or somebody,
I'm good. I can't wait to have your pieces up here. Hopefully you can bring them over in the next couple of days, 3 days, and
yes.
then let's sell them, and it will be a fun process.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you, Sogol, and thank you everybody in your team for helping to put together this Instagram Live.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.
Ciao, Sogol. Ciao, everyone.
Bye.